I remember there was this one boy who came in, and this his wife had just cheated on him, and he was so mad. He was angry, and he was calling her all sorts of names,
Of course.
vulgar,
Yeah.
raw emotion. Guess what the advice was?
From Majita.
So, do you love this woman? And he says, yeah, but I love her. But yeah, she's a, but oh, hinkerantsha tsa gago." Do you think she would react the same way that you have? These old men are taming this animal that could have gone home.
And what he does, we don't even know.
King David Studio Podcast.
Today I'm hosting someone whom I think is really just at the beginning of bigger things that he'll be doing. I don't know whether he agrees with me, but we'll find out. Kagiso Modupe o shapa utiak.
Not when
I call it the beginning.
Yeah.
Because
Of what?
Because you've done so much, but I still have a sense that you're one of those guys who there's a lot more coming.
Yeah.
A hell of a lot more coming.
Definitely.
Me calling it the beginning, I'm saying I want to celebrate you now.
Okay.
Because
Yeah. What did I say to you?
I told you.
What were my words to you?
told
Yeah. And you want to be that guy.
I want to be that guy, and I told you.
Yeah.
Because I saw one or two of some of your interviews you've done, particularly with Tibo's Mokwele.
Oh, yes.
And I remember thinking, wow, man, this guy is a mover.
Yeah.
From doing passion work to doing work that requires you to do it because you need money.
Yeah.
And to doing work that you do because I need to put in my own money to do it.
Yeah.
For me, those are commendable trades.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, wakala wena.
I mean, not for me, I live,
Yeah.
I know, I'm here for a limited time and I need to make the best of it. So if I want something, I need to go out there and just get it.
Yeah.
No matter what it takes. Like batla medi ke lata jo.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Let's try this.
Let's try this thing. Let's do it. So I've always believed in just go out and do what you need to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
But where does that come from? Is there a seed that was planted sometime in your life?
My dad. Yeah, Tamalaka, man.
Tell me about it.
He's always just been planting seeds.
Yeah.
I mean, he planted a seed in my mother's womb.
You came out.
I came out. But then he kept on planting now seeds of wisdom.
Yeah.
He was my hero. My dad was just my hero. Looking at his life, that's one guy that never felt sorry for himself.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that there's no time to feel sorry for yourself.
Come on, Pramoli.
Yeah,
Yes.
Pramoli. Yeah.
Ah.
My dad grew up hard. Had to take care of his siblings. For my dad to have like a 4-room kokasi, that was like a mansion for him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So and he loved people. I was even surprised when he passed on. There were so many people who were coming in. They were like, "Hey Joe, this guy took me to school." And I'm like, how? He didn't take me to school. He didn't have money to take me to school. So all that money went to you. Yeah.
Wow.
But that's what he did.
Yeah.
If I could do this now, let me do it now and touch lives now. And
it's even learning from him even after he's passed on.
Yeah. There's so many lessons. I want to write a book, and call it Conversations with Pramoli.
Yes, wow.
But
do it now. Do it quickly.
Yeah, well, there isn't a lot of people reading now,
It's so true that people don't.
Yeah. But what I've done is, there's a film called Ingoma that is coming up. I hope it ends up being called Ingoma because this is just a working title.
Okay.
But it's about what about the boys, and I use a lot of his wisdom on that. So
Yes.
I guess it works.
There's some way I found out that you used to have conversations with them quite a bit.
Yeah.
Your walks to the shop and things like that.
To the barber shop.
Tell me about that.
To the barber shop. My elder brother went to crash.
Okay.
I didn't. I'm the middle child.
You make it sound like middle kids don't get much.
I don't know. And my little sister went to crash.
And you didn't.
I didn't. My older brother got a...
You still sound like who?
Yeah, ke pitanyana.
You're trying to shop right there.
Sanda pitanyana. But either way, I think he wanted to compensate a lot. And Kadi Saturdays we would walk.
Okay.
And go to Kopaba shop.
Uh-huh.
Kobosaki. And
What?
yeah, and that's where a lot of conversations would happen. I got knowledge not from some book or some motivational book, but from real life stories. Where my dad would say, "Do you see that man? Oh, so. This is the lesson that we learn. Do you see that lady? Do you see
Whoa.
this? Do you see this?" So I ke godisitse ke kasi, basically through my
Yes.
dad's conversations, my dad's eyes. You know,
Yeah.
I remember just give a little timer, and we're coming from go down. You know, and you're sitting more and more engineering.
Yeah. That little
the
bit
little portion
where
in.
you're not supposed to be paying.
Yeah, where you're not supposed to be paying.
Yes.
And uchisagiri engine, uchisagiri chips.
Sometimes it's warm though.
Yeah, well,
the
in
warmth
winter,
is good.
in
Yeah,
winter.
in winter the warmth is
Sometimes it's just too hot.
good. Exactly.
And he would, simple things like he would point out at a hobo
Yeah.
on the streets, refeta, that takes a roman that when you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
When you get home, it's like, ubone tamale ne kuban salon. Yeah. Okay. You see, when I go and it's like a nobody, right? But if that guy was to pass on today, somebody would be crying.
Yes.
So that means that person is important
To someone.
to someone.
Yeah.
So each and every person of Kopanang Lien is very important.
Whoa.
And some of those lessons,
That's a big lesson.
it's a big lesson.
It's a big lesson, even bigger for a guy who ends up becoming TV famous
Yeah.
and working with many people
Yeah.
and meeting strangers who think you're the man.
Yeah.
Because it's easy for you to say, "Psh, whatever."
Yeah.
But that lesson,
That lesson taught me hore umucho because of Atubaba.
yeah.
And that time our security guard is going to touch your life in some way.
Oh,
And it's very important. And that's why whenever we shoot films, when we pay royalties, we don't just pay the actors. We pay from the security guard to the executive producers.
yo.
That's how we roll.
Something that comes out quite a bit, and because I talk to a lot of actors,
Yeah.
they sit on that chair.
Yeah.
And the issue of royalties comes across quite a bit. The issue of auditions come across quite a bit.
Yeah.
But let's talk about royalties, because clearly this is an important fight that's been on for a bit in South Africa.
Yeah.
What led you to seeing the need for royalties as an issue for everybody?
Look, you gotta understand, everybody's trying to to be like Hollywood. But then they're not putting the Hollywood money.
Yeah.
They're not putting in the Hollywood effort. They want Hollywood, when it suits them. But we're also relying on an industry or a department that has no idea about what it's like to be in the industry. So if we're going to keep fighting for these royalties and keep trying to get government to get involved and make them understand something that they don't want to understand,
Yeah.
then we're wasting our time. We have to do it on our own. Let's start and show them how it's done so that they can jump on it and then claim gore ke a bona, which is fine. There's no stress
So you
there.
know that they eventually do claim one.
Yeah, you know how it goes. You know what I mean?
Banyana, for
Yeah,
example.
you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you want to take the glory. But that's how it is. It's either we complain, and that's one of the lessons I learned from my dad. It's either you complain about it or you get up and you do something about it. You can't really get into a space where you've learned helplessness. Yeah.
It's a bad lesson.
Yeah, if it's going around, it's like I've learned it, and and that's how it is.
How about a twos?
How about a twos? No, we go out and we do what we need to do, and that's what I did with my films. I went and I knocked there and I knocked there and I knocked there. Nobody was opening. I was like, okay, sharp. I'm gonna go and do it on my own. Let me go and sell my house. Let me go sell my stuff. Let me go sell in. Let me go take school fees money. Let me go and do this film so that I can start.
And you still shared the money with everyone.
And I still shared the money with everyone.
Let's go to this moment of giving up everything.
Yeah.
It sounds easy when you say it in one sentence.
Yeah, it sounds easy now.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I know it sounds very easy now. But then it wasn't.
Take me back to that moment. The script is here.
Yeah.
And losing Lerato is here.
Yeah.
You fall in love with your own work.
Yeah.
And you fall in love with it enough to want to bootstrap it, as they call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you're saying, I'll fund it.
Yeah.
How much effort went into looking for money?
A lot. I just to cut the story short, I remember being in New York. And I had just I just pitched to Lionsgate.
Okay. Yes.
And they said, look, we like your story, but we want to use American actors.
Oh.
I'm in New York. I'm on my own. I get outside.
You're hustling.
I'm hustling.
Yes.
I call my wife. I'm like, Ejo, and but they don't want South African actors. They want American actors. And he's like, what are you going to do? And I said, look, I've promised Simulu, that we're going to do this thing.
Your daughter.
My daughter. What kind of lesson am I going to be teaching to her, if I choose money over family? Because family is key for me. And she was like, look, you know what's right, and you decide.
Left it with you still.
Left it with me still. I came back, I went in there and I told him, no, thank you. I got on a flight, came back home.
Was it the kind of money that would have made a huge difference in your life?
Yeah. It was dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, in South Africa, it's dollars.
Yeah.
I think it was going to be about 25 million.
Justice.
It was about 25 million.
So even the movie would have been different.
Yeah.
Like not even just based on the actors.
Yeah.
Even its production quality, because you would have had a bigger budget.
Yeah. I wasn't going to be involved even. They were buying the story for 25 million.
And then they go do it.
They forget about me.
You would have just won the lotto.
Yeah, I would have just won the lotto.
Hey,
And there's my daughter. There's the lotto. There's my daughter. There's the
You should
lotto.
have called your daughter, not your wife.
Well, she was 8.
Yeah, you should have said, baby.
Yeah,
Remember
okay.
that promise.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, it's coming.
I'm getting 25 million.
We'll write another one. So,
Jeez.
and that happens. I come back, and that's when I was like, okay, I've had it.
Yeah.
I've had it. I resign on Scandal.
A big resignation.
Yeah, huge one.
And unexpected, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I resign on Scandal, and I'm like, I'm going to go and do this thing. I get home, and I'm like, we need to sell so that we can make.
What type of money were you thinking to produce? And give us a ballpark. No less than or no more than.
Around maybe my 7 pa.
Okay.
About 7 million.
Yes.
Yeah, Losing Rato wasn't that really hectic. So how I write in a way that we follow the characters.
So it's not,
Yeah.
it doesn't need a lot of scenes.
No.
Yeah.
It does have a lot of scenes, but we
Yeah.
are following just these 2 characters.
Okay.
Compared to having different worlds that you're trying to bring.
Create. Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Creating different worlds can be very costly.
Yeah, so I always, and I've learned that, So anyways, my wife says to me, look,
Yes.
Yeah, and everything that you had said that, you promised me and you've kept it. You said that you were going to marry me, you did. You said you're going to give me babies, you did. You said that this, you said this, you said this. So promise me, Jorge, we're going to get everything back.
Jeez, it's a big one.
And I was like, okay.
Was it something you had to think long and hard with those type of conversations, or it was a...
It was impulse now. I won't lie to you. It was impulse. Time was running out. Timon was getting older. And
Oh, yes, you needed to retain that age.
And for me to keep, going and asking, how long is it going to take?
Yeah.
So this was very impulsive. And I went with it.
Sure.
Sold the house, pulled school fees, sold the other properties, sold the cars. And I was like, okay, this is what we are doing.
Now we have some cash.
Yeah, now I've got some cash. And I've got like 2 months to make this thing happen.
Sure. And when do you move into a rental again?
Cho. Yeah. I'm like, Rangenga. And I mean, this is us moving out from a very nice home. We've worked hard. I mean, I was on
It's
Scandal.
13 years of Scandal.
Yeah,
Yes. So it's
Sharp.
13 years of consistent income.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And good income, you know. And I had to let it go. It's you having to choose between fame
Yeah.
and getting to the next level. And that's a big thing because there's a lot of people who are in this industry who get caught up in the fame that it blinds them from moving
What's happening
to
next?
the next step.
Do you know, I worked for SABC in sales for 3 years.
Yeah.
Great salary.
Yeah.
The type of salary that changes your life.
Yeah.
I didn't particularly like the environment. I didn't enjoy the job anymore.
Yeah.
I loved the money. And then I got to a point where I said, it's time.
It's time.
And it led to this facility that we're in.
Yeah. Look at us now.
Do you know what I mean?
Look at how nice this place is.
And I remember that decision was hard. It was hard. It's like, eventually I made it. When I made it, it's exactly, that's why I say this story, because it's exactly the way you phrased it. We get caught up.
Yeah.
And we are unable to see
beyond.
Yeah, almost like somebody needs to open the curtains.
yeah.
So we can see what there's an outside.
Yeah. And those are the lessons that if you didn't get from your parents,
Yeah.
it's very difficult for you to make such decisions because you are worried about other people,
Yo.
you are living for other people, and you're not able to humble yourself. Tell you a story about my mother. One time, my mother utsamaile, and I come back from school, and because she was a housewife,
Okay.
and
Your
she,
dad was the man.
yeah, look, my mother lost her job in 1976 when she
Yeah.
gave birth to my brother.
Oh.
And because of that, she lost her job.
And the dad said, I'll carry this.
I'll carry this, right? So she became a housewife. She was a seamstress. Naroka, osmazesi, man. Yeah. I mean, it's good guys. So she'd always be delivering this, delivering that. You know that she's. And anyways, I come back from school, and Pulayana, and I sit outside, and it's raining on me, and I'm by the door. My mother comes, and I thought she was going to feel sorry for me and say, aski, see, Kia. She gave me a whipping right there outside in the rain.
Why?
And she said to me, if you cannot humble yourself to go and ask for help.
Big lesson.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with you if you don't do that.
Yeah. Which means you're right born.
Mm.
You know what I mean? There's a door there.
Next door.
Yeah. Ki mole khabo shari, ki mole khabo mdupi, ki mole khabo bongani. Why usa kokot?
Pulayana.
Pulayana.
And my mom is not home.
Yeah.
Can I just hang around here until she comes back?
Why can't you ask for help? And from then, I learned humbling yourself and being open about your ups and your downs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when you get help. When you are in this industry, it's if you're in it for the fame, kichayev. But if you're in it to grow, to learn, if you need help, be open.
Be open.
That's it. It's job.
That's it, eh?
Job.
And did you feel while making those big decisions, moving home and everything, at any point that
Aye.
Never.
It's happened. If there's one thing about me. I trust myself.
Yeah.
I trust my instinct.
Yeah.
I've always said that. I move with my instinct. And I trust Mudimo, I trust Badimo Wag.
Yeah.
Everything, I always say, how I got into this industry. I hear people say, I struggled to get it. I never struggled.
Well, we're here.
Yeah.
We might as well.
Everything has always just been falling into place.
How do you, this boy from Rau ends up on Scandal? Was Scandal your first gig?
No.
Okay.
A lemon twist ad was like, oh gosh. Yeah.
How do while
It
we're
was
here,
horrible.
we might as well go there. You at Rau,
Yeah.
minding your business, selling anything and everything.
Yeah.
And close to selling human body parts.
Yeah. Morning after pills.
You sold morning after.
I sold morning after pills. I did.
I
To pay for my fees, yeah.
I can understand that
Yeah.
at a university setting.
I mean, I'm a BSc student.
Yes.
I'm in the same class as the girls who are doing nursing. So I'm like, okay, it's a business. I need to pay for my fees.
Help me out.
And come reg week, a lot of people are going to need those. Push it.
Jeez, man.
Unashamedly so. You do what you need to do to survive.
Yeah.
And if you allow yourself to sink, then you're not here.
How is it that you ended up having to sell stuff?
Because
Daddy couldn't afford taking you to school.
Yeah. No, he did say, I was in matric, I passed, I was head boy.
Mm-hmm.
But even my high school was sponsored.
Okay.
You know what I mean? My high school was sponsored because I was quite clever.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Who sponsored? The school?
Yeah, no, Dr. Proxinos.
Yeah.
So he was like, look, he's got good marks. Let him go to the multiracial schools.
And I'll pay for it.
But anyways, so when I finished matric, that's where it ends.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's where the sponsorship ends.
Time there's nothing else I can do, but I got a job for you, go Kellogg's.
Okay.
Pakishama box.
Kellogg's is in the East End.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Springs.
Yeah.
I got a job for you, Pakishama box. I'm like, okay, cool. That's what I'm going to do.
You've accepted.
But then that's when I made the decision. What kind of song do I want to be? Do I want to be the kind of song that people are going to talk about for the next 50 years to come?
Yeah.
Or do I just want to be a song that people are like, we know that song?
We bite it, we move on.
Yeah. And one of the lessons that my dad that came is like, if your name has never been called through the intercom, Koskila, or you've never been on that stage, whether it's for something good or something bad, you were never there.
You didn't live.
You didn't live.
Whoa.
I'm like, I'm not going to live.
That's a lot of pressure on a little boy.
Yeah.
But it left an impression, clearly.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to pack boxes. And that's my life.
So you said no.
I went. Kavaya kaya Rao. I was supposed to go to Medunsa.
Okay.
But then
Big dreams of studying medicine.
medicine, straight up. So my maths marks went so great.
Yeah.
Couldn't qualify. I was like, okay, I'm going to go the BSc route. Anyways, cut the story short. I go to Rao. I apply. My dad doesn't know. He thinks I'm working. Go Kellogg's. That's what I was saying. If I got trainee, I'm going to
Rao?
Yeah, to Rao. You
Yeah.
know? And he bumps into this man. On to let's Spanish go ahead. I'm an Indona Kangiboni up.
Hey, Diman.
How? Kanjani?
Yes.
I come home and he says to me, Bon, you've never lied to me. We never lied to each other.
What's going on here?
What's going on? And I tell him, Remina, Kekeleza, go Rao. And he's like, Yamaburu. Yeah.
Yamabu.
Yeah. And I mean, he was like, okay, kept quiet. Avai. The next day, he went. My dad went and got a loan. Yeah, 5,000 rands.
Jesus.
And I mean, I knew it was going to take him many years
To pay that off.
to pay that off.
What made you...
But dad, bon,
You're getting goosebumps.
it was the most amazing thing that my dad ever did for me.
I paused
amazing.
to think about it. Tori. When you decided,
Yeah.
he followed suit.
Yeah.
And with no just saying sharp.
He's always trusted me. Always. My parents always trusted me somehow.
What made you, I'll use the word lie, what made you lie to him at that moment? What was it about that moment that said, Kellogg's, I know the decisions,
Yeah.
but what made you not to take him along that journey with you?
I
In the
made
beginning.
I made the mistake of not wanting to disappoint my dad, who's made an effort to hustle for me.
Yeah.
You know, because I've watched him hustle all along. But little did I know that my dad, disappointment, it's what he wanted.
Rather you do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He never looked at it as a disappointment. Whatever it is, you my child, I must follow you. You know what I mean? You are also here to live.
Jeez.
All I need to do is just follow you and guide you.
There's something to be said about parenting in that moment
Yeah.
when parents want to live their own dreams through their kids
Yeah.
versus parents who want their kids to realize their own lives.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about your dad's view of the world in that context.
Yeah.
And he did very well
He-
to make that happen.
He just follows. And when he follows hard.
Bloody hell, 5 Gs.
Yeah. I mean, besides that, but just the timer. When you said I wanted to do karate, he's like, oh, it's a karate. Man. Oh, okay. He's there. Whoa. And he's in it with you.
Yeah.
You know? And when you say, I accept karate, I'm doing this, then he's like, oh, okay. Then he goes with it.
Yeah, hurry. Yeah.
And I think I reached all those milestones because my dad just wanted to follow me around. He wasn't telling me what to do.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to live, his dreams through me. He was just being a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you at Rao, at least you have 5K nyana to push a nyana scale.
Yeah.
What happens to your setting at school? You're traveling to school and back. It's
Yeah.
not easy.
Yeah, but he found out after 8 months, nah. So,
You hit this for long.
yeah, so this is like towards the end of the year.
You hit this for. You're a rebellious young boy.
But anyways, I went and I sold anything that you can think of. I sold. I started off with suckers, and they used to call me your go getter.
Okay.
That's where I met Bocheba, I met Euphonic, I met all those boys.
Yeah.
I used to sell steel wool. I used to sell plates. anything.
what?
No,
Go res.
it was business. Yeah.
Yes, go res. People who
Go
need
res.
stuff.
People want plates. People want this. People want this. You know.
Jeez.
And I managed to pay off my fees for that year, and I was paying in coins. You know, literally all the other kids, rich kids, but have a swiper.
You say you pay.
It was coin how. Yeah, I know it's havanyana. I go one hot. I know that's how I met Papi Muloi. That's how I met Stefina Zwane. Salamina Musese.
Jeez,
that's
that era.
I was selling suckers to them. And so, anyways, there was this Rao Song and Dance company, and which is like a theater company, go Rao.
Yeah.
And they would pay. It would pay like 1.5,
Okay.
for 2 shows.
What were you expected to do?
Dance. You know, it's a theater production that they put in, but bashota ka machita.
Okay.
You know, it's always like a girl thing, especially in tertiary. So I go there and I do it. For me, I'm doing this thing for the money. But I get in, it's Sophia Town.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, the show is Sophia.
That kind of stuff.
I killed that thing.
Yeah.
I killed that thing. There's an audience.
Do you always have moves?
Nah.
Or your moves were good enough for the audience?
If you show me how to do it, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it was more of the acting that was in there.
Okay.
You know, and it was directed by Zane Mears.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, sharp. Sophia Town. And then it was District 6. I also did that.
So
now I'm in this thing because at least it adds some money towards my fees. But then there's agents on the floor coming to watch.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, there's a lot of agents who want me on their books.
Because they're impressed with what they see.
Yeah, who's this guy? We've never seen this guy. And I'm like, okay, let's go with it. And that's what I try to do. But what I've learned from it is that what we treat as hobbies, you know, can be your way of life.
Yeah.
And we should never, you know, focus on that in your education, only how our parents did it, you know. And it's through our parents who were open to say, I'm going to follow you.
Did you finish the degree?
Yeah, I've got 2 degrees. I've got a BSc in human physiology and anatomy.
You were this close to being a doctor.
Yeah, I was close. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, this subject works out for me. All right, I'm going to edit and do family psychology. Okay, just mama kia, time kia, remunati, done.
Because I'm thinking, Ntwane now is becoming a star.
Yeah.
But an unexpected star, even for you. You didn't expect yourself to be growing in this space of acting. Kuskela.
Yeah. Nah.
You were hustling.
I was just hustling.
You wanted money.
I wanted money. But I mean, I was an active child. You know, I was national champion karate in 1992. I played soccer. I was, you know, played provincial. So I've always just been this active child. I was in ballroom dancing. I was active.
So it was not an unfamiliar space, this.
No.
But it wasn't the career.
No, it wasn't the career. I never said I'm going to grow up and I'm going to be an actor. No,
Never.
No.
Or be in film.
No. And that's why I say, you know, when something is meant to be yours, it's yours.
Yeah.
I remember when I auditioned Go Scandal. I auditioned, got the job, you know, but I was still, you know, my character, Nelly Mangi, who was back at school. And so I didn't start with everybody else.
Okay.
So,
you were not around. You were spoken of.
I was spoken of,
But you were not seen.
I was not seen, right?
Jeez, that can be terrible.
Yeah, so I'm starting 3 months after everybody so that it's in line with the school holidays in terms of shooting.
Because you were still at school.
Yeah, the character was
Even for you.
No, now I was in tertiary.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
yes,
I was in tertiary.
You were at school as well.
Yeah. But I mean, you can shoot.
Of course.
Either way.
Yeah.
So the production house that had Scandal got fired within the 3 months that I was supposed to come on. So I know the date that I need to come on, and I get to set ETV. Hi, my name is Kagiso. I'm here to shoot. Like,
Who are you?
Who are you? Yeah, I'm like, no, Kagiso, Mangi. I'm playing Mangi. Like, well, we re-auditioning.
Oh, no.
In fact, tomorrow we're re-auditioning, and you can come in and try again.
Yes, that's terrible. Did you want to call someone?
I'm thinking about, I already told my mom, who told the lady next door. Lady next door, society. Society told everybody at church. Everybody, the whole casino knows that I'm going to be on Scandal.
Yes.
I tell you, I felt so horrible. But I went in the next day. All the other guys, I think it was about 160 of us, audition, and I still got the job.
It was yours.
When something is yours, David, it's yours.
It's yours. It was yours.
It was mine.
Wow.
It was lined up. You know, nobody can take it away from me.
No.
And that's, for me, that was that moment to say, this is where I'm meant to be.
I want to go back to the first gig.
Yeah.
From this kid who's dancing around on different productions at school.
Yeah.
One of the agents surely spotted you.
It was Jeffet Management, and there was Gano, and there was MLA.
In the audience.
Yeah, in the audience, and contractors. So I just needed to choose.
Whoa, you're one of those kids.
Yeah, I was like, okay, where do I go? Where do I go? Who's there? Who's not there? You know, and I remember I was so mad because I chose Jeffets, and that's when Tsotsi was being shot, and Presley was on MLA. you know, and I was like, I should have gone with MLA.
I could have gotten it.
Yeah, you know, like I could have gotten it. I mean, I was shortlisted for the Tsotsi character, but I didn't get it. It was like, okay, cool.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Let's run with it.
Do you look back and say you made a decent decision, irrespective of the Tsotsi incident? Well, not getting Tsotsi, thinking that, man, I should have gone with
What
these.
is meant to be yours is meant to
It's
be
meant
yours.
to be yours.
I mean, you sit here, you missed the Tsotsi thing, but you're sitting here with over 15 international awards from the work that you've done.
Yeah.
So
It was meant to be yours.
it was meant to be mine.
First gig.
Yeah.
First gig with cameras in front of you. What
Yeah.
is that?
I was nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know? And that's another lesson. That's where I learned the Futzak attitude.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, and that's another thing that my dad said. Sometimes you just gotta learn the Futzak, man. You know?
Whatever.
Yeah, Tzak attitude. He called it the Tzak attitude.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep calling it the Tzak attitude.
Whatever.
Yeah, you know? I am equally important as the people that I'm working with. I mean, these are people that I grew up watching on TV. I'll tell you a story about me and Brasilo, right?
Maki.
Maki, yeah.
Okay.
So, actually, there's so many stories from Scandal. So, Stan, which was played by Lutuli Dlamini, is leaving the show. Siabonga Twala is leaving the show. Rami Chain is leaving the show.
Is there a specific reason why there's an exodus?
Money.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, go na le modumo.
Yeah, Mudubudu.
Or Rukwapa.
Yeah, Ravaya.
Okay.
So I'm the youngest. Me and Steph were the youngest. I have absolutely no say in what happens. And I'm in this family, but this family is falling apart.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And that's when they, they put my character onto drugs. He was meant to die, right? And I was like, I had accepted.
Because his family is falling
Yeah,
apart.
his family is falling apart. Everybody's leaving. I mean, all the big people are leaving. And I remember something that my dad had said to me, and he was like, "Lekgowa le rata mmereko wa gago, e seng wena."
Yeah.
You know, and he was saying it based on apartheid times. But for me, I ke ile ka etsa hore e be ya ka.
Okay.
And I said, look, let my work speak for itself. And I don't care about Mang. I don't care who's leaving, who's not. And I need to do what I need to do.
Yeah.
I shot that character. And I remember a week before my farewell party on Scandal, I got called in to say the numbers are so high that I am not leaving the show. Yeah, that storyline.
This is when you wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Now. This is when it was 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. This is me still, Scandal.
Okay.
Yeah, still
okay.
there.
Yeah.
You know? And that's when Brasilo was brought in
Okay.
to come and play my uncle.
And that became a thing.
I mean, I grew up watching Dr. Mashwadi
Yeah.
You get what I'm
and
saying?
many others.
and many others. But what I've learned from him, and I remember he was coming from King Kong. And no, it wasn't King Kong, Lion King.
From playing in the
States.
In the States or the UK.
It was
yes,
the UK,
yes,
yeah. It was both
yeah.
at that time. And I was called into the office to say, hey, this man is coming. Please learn your lines. Be prepared. All of that. And I'm there.
Kadlala.
Kadlala, no. So he comes in and I'm like, Dumela khurmane, like, everything. Can we run lines? Like, yeah, no, we'll run lines. Okay, sure. I go back. Hey, because I'm seeing now, we're getting closer to
your call time.
Yeah, but I need to respect him. Hey, Khurman, can we run? Yeah, we'll run lines. I was like, okay. We get to set and we hadn't run lines.
Oh, boy.
I'm shaking. And at that moment, it clicks in.
What happens?
The Futzak attitude.
What is this attitude?
This attitude
Everybody understands it.
is you having to go, I'm equally important. Or the whatever thing.
Oh, wafa.
Done is the wafa wafa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We get on. The first take, rehearsal, I do it differently. Second take, I hit him hard. Va. Cut. He called cut. He was like, no, cut. Wait. What are we doing now? The next day, that's when our friendship started. And it's been. He came and was like, we need to run lines. And I was like, okay, sharp.
Because Amatlo was surprised on set.
And ever since, the love between me and Brasilo, you can't come in between.
Wow, man. What do you think that moment meant or said to him when you did what you did on day one?
I don't know. But for me, it was like, I'm here to do a job, I'm equally important.
Important, yeah.
It's us having to remember all those things.
Because you said, "Timer, let's run lines."
I don't know.
And he said,
I was on the phone. Let's run that. Okay.
"Come on, son."
I can't have a change. Yeah.
See, we should have run lines.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
man, that was a
some
moment.
of the lessons that you learn from there is that sometimes, re paisisa ke letshogo, fear. And fear can paralyze you
Yeah.
from having to achieve your goals and your dreams. You find it's like dying unnecessary. But I'm unnecessary.
Even in the movies, like,
Yeah. That's what it is.
that man,
Yeah,
he
so-
could have.
So you need to trust yourself, trust your
Yeah.
instinct, and trust that you are there and you've been put in that space because there's a reason.
You're equally important.
They're equally important.
Wow. Now there you are. This Ntwane actor. No, what's happening in the community? Like early days. Like this is when you said commercial. You did some commercial work as well.
Yeah. I was young, man. It was just girls. I was young. It was it's just recognition and having to remember who you are and also a guy and grounding yourself very fast.
Yeah.
Being invited to almost every party. Being exposed to a lot of drugs.
Yes. Drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember when, we would get invitations every Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yes.
There's always invitations in your cubicle. And you were told, you need to be out there so that Shashi can talk about you.
Well, I didn't know that was a thing.
It was a thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, I get to this party and there's like cocaine on the table.
What?
And I'm sitting there with people who, I respected in the industry.
And you're
Right?
thinking, eh?
Yeah, this is what it is, right?
Yes. Were
And
you surprised?
yeah, I was. But I was also starstruck. I won't lie to you.
Yes.
And that's where the danger is. That moment where I've been wanting to get onto radio and there's David.
And David is using drugs.
He's using drugs. And literally it was one of those, hey, how you doing? Hey, I love your work. They're passing this thing on. Like, I like
I like the way you did it. That was that was a Kagiso, the actor guy.
Yeah, he was like, yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? Hey, shut up. Love your work, man. Love your work. They're passing this thing on. And I remember some of the guys that I was with at that time, same age, and we just jumped into the industry. We're also there. I promise you now, every single one of them that took that hit are not in the game anymore.
Oh, no. So that moment was
Yeah.
quite key.
It was quite key.
What happened to you?
My dad,
Ish.
he kicks in.
I want your dad.
You must come back.
I want your dad.
I remembered a lesson that he had said, Rea Baba Shop.
Yeah.
Are Josie, le Johannesburg. Haritshwane.
What is the difference?
He says
I've had that. Even
yeah.
recently, I've had somebody say that.
if you go into Joburg, ki the fast life.
Yes.
And there's the nicer side of Joburg. Where it's either it makes you or it breaks you.
Yeah.
It's like New York, right?
It's like LA.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
LA.
It's where you
Everything
decide what
yeah,
happens.
You decide what happens and how you're going to do it. So Joburg for us is like that Hollywood. And from across the country, everybody wants to get to Joburg. But when you get to Joburg, what do you do? And which Joburg are you going to live in?
What is the Josie Joburg?
So Josie Joburg
Yeah.
is ki area body drugs, fast life, monate, and you forget why you are here, which is another lesson that I got from my dad when I started complaining about work. And he humbled me. He said to me, never forget the day before you got the job.
Sure.
No look guy.
What was happening in your
Yeah.
life?
And now you come here, you're talking politics at work. Who did this? Who did that? How does that affect your work? If it doesn't affect your work, then you shouldn't be worried about it.
It's an important lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get into that space to work, and now you're worried about who comes in wearing pajamas in the morning, who does this, who gets treated better, who doesn't. What are you here to do?
You still have your script, your lines, your talent.
Yeah.
Why do you care about someone's pajamas?
Exactly. If that actor is going to be treated differently or they're getting more perks and you are not,
Hey, man.
it's not about you. Never forget the day before you got the job.
Eddie Timer is throwing bombs.
Hey.
Eddie Timer playing.
Same.
Yeah, says. And that moment with the drugs.
Yeah.
I love your work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what do you do?
That thing hit me.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when your parents talk to you about, there's that conversation that we never want to have with our parents.
Yeah.
When your mom tells you, "I get fala, drop and take this and put it there," right? We never we never want to hear those conversations. But it's those seeds that are planted that when it happens, automatically your subconscious kicks in.
Yeah.
And that's what happened there. I was literally riding on what my dad said. I know the answer was, no, I'm good with a beer.
Yeah.
Because I had a beer in my hand. And I don't know why I said it, but it was that subconscious that kicked in.
Jeez, man.
And that saved me.
Yeah.
Compared to somebody else who still needed to think about, do I not? And the moment is so quick.
Of course it is.
It's so quick.
You find yourself in there.
Yeah.
And now you're high.
You're high.
And you want another high.
They say your first high is like a kiss from God.
Yes, because you want it again.
You want again. And you'll never find it.
Yeah.
You'll never find it.
Sure. Wow, man. That was a big moment in your life.
It was. I've had a lot of big moments.
Let's talk about the call up to Scandal.
Yeah.
Is it the casting agent says there's a gig?
Yeah.
And what happens?
I go to the audition, I get it. No, that was the easy
I like how easy it is.
Yeah, that was the easy part. But there's so many lessons that I've learned from Scandal, man. I was very fortunate to work with a lot of old people, legends in the game. Orla, Brasendi.
Yes,
wow. And I sat with him, and there's a lot of things that I learned from him.
Conversations.
Yeah. I love sitting with legends, and there's a lot of knowledge that you get from them. And one of the things I was like, I never want to be fired. I want to leave when it's time to leave.
Yeah.
Especially with long form, you find there's a lot of actors that get in there and they hog the spot. And because it's that monthly salary that you never get. And I would see how people would be so invested into these characters that, they would actually fight about these characters in real life.
Sure.
They would take them so seriously. If there was a CEO, especially with Scandal, there's always that CTR CEO. This person was the CEO, then you were seen as like the boss of the show.
Oh, that happens?
Yeah, but in terms of the script, at some point, you need to go down. When the other CEO comes up, all of a sudden, but outside of the show,
there would also
would
be tension.
And I was like, no, I don't want to leave like that.
How would this type of tension play out? How would you see it as someone who's just watching it from a distance or from a close distance?
They took it personal.
Yeah.
They forgot that this was a character. And when you in a show like that, there's actually Kagiso. And you start living monkey.
Oh no.
And once you forget that voice, there's problems. I've prayed for that voice, and this is what my mother said. She said, always pray for that voice not to go away.
To stay true to who you are.
To who you are. If that voice goes away, that's my biggest fear actually in life. That voice.
And clearly there's a source to that voice.
Yeah.
What is the source of that voice? Is it still
humility.
Yeah.
And truth. That's what guides me. Truth, because it comes with humility. I always need to be true to myself.
Yeah.
And what the truth is. And that's why when I make decisions, I'm like, okay, was I right in that? Was I not right in that? The first instinct is to blame me.
Of course.
Yeah, always.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's very easy, though, for humans to government.
Yeah.
My friends. And like the security guard could have let me in quicker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I was taught the first instinct is truth. And how you find truth is by self-introspection first, before the situation.
Yes.
How did I contribute to the situation? Even in relationships, in marriage, how did I...
What did I do?
Gore fihle moo.
Ngenzeni?
Hence the books.
Yeah, it's a very important question, though, that you ask.
Yeah.
Scandal character becomes a big character. Mangi becomes famous. In every way, you get called this name even in the streets.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
that's what people
I should put
do.
on my ID.
You should put it.
Even now, after all these years, yeah.
It should be your middle name.
Yeah.
Interesting. When I was preparing for this, I said, this name,
Yeah.
I should call you Kagiso, man, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
It became you.
Came me, yeah.
And what part of that character is you? Is really you?
The happy side of it.
That was
me.
Yeah.
I mean, you played for so long that you start adding a bit of yourself in it, so that at least you can dilute it. You can still be in touch with yourself. If you look at the character Mangi, one of the things I even said was, with storylines that came up, it needed to be something educational. I didn't want to do storylines that just didn't touch people's lives.
It's just there.
Nah.
And that has remained a theme for you.
Yeah.
Even with the stuff that you've written after.
They have to. I mean, you look at the films, Losing Lerato, big subject.
Tando, big
Universal Story,
subject.
Tando, big subject of suicide, teenage
Yeah.
suicide, bullying, The next film, it's going to be about what about the boys? There's just so many things.
Do you find that having to decide to be educational can be to the sacrifice of revenue?
I'd rather sacrifice revenue
Yeah.
than put out bubblegum.
Yes.
Yeah. Because that doesn't last
Because
long.
bubble gum
Yeah.
is money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't last long. It's quick money, but it doesn't last long.
Yeah.
I'm more about a legacy. I want, when people are talking about teenage suicide, they refer to Tando.
To your story.
30 years later.
When parents are talking about abuse, losing a child,
Yeah.
Parents fighting over a child,
Yeah.
they refer to losing
Losing
Lerato.
Lerato.
Yeah. That's important.
Yeah, it's very important.
Even the book you wrote, it's about all sorts of things, relationships,
Along came Takane.
infidelity, and
Truth.
and truth.
It was about truth.
Yeah.
And that's why I would say the first instinct is to blame. But we never look at how we contribute to the problem.
Do you know, listening to you talk from the boy who used to sell contraceptives or morning afters at varsity,
Yeah.
and the guy who continues to write books and I realize that you're the same exact guy.
Yeah.
You haven't changed one bit.
No, I just gained a little bit of weight. And that's it. You know what I mean?
You're the
I'm
same
the
guy
same person.
who hustles
Yeah.
for the next thing. You just found your hustle,
Yeah.
which is in the film space.
Yeah. And I hustle for everybody as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Whenever I go, I need to pull somebody up with me.
Yeah.
Dark or blue. That's what it is. But I follow truth, and that's why everything I do is just to touch on that truth element.
Yeah.
I'm a Brothers for Life ambassador. It's about truth. And I'll never be involved in something that doesn't come with truth.
Let's talk about the story of losing Lerato. What inspired you writing it?
Men didn't have a voice. Traveling with Brothers for Life, I figured out there's a lot of good men out there. And I was raised by one. And, they just needed a voice. That's one. But what really pushed me was my dad. He found his real dad when he was 65.
What?
And my dad passed on when he was 70. And look what thing, he didn't find his dad. He was found by the siblings.
That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They came through and they're like, Papa, before he died, he said this. And funny enough, my grandfather.
So the granddad had already passed when your dad found out about him.
Yeah.
Oh.
And funny enough, my granddad lived a street away from my dad, where my dad grew up.
He was always there.
He was always there. He was always watching him. And so when my dad, we were taken to the gravesite and all of that, and I watched my dad, my hero, weep like a child.
Jesus.
And I understood that it wasn't botlhoko ba gore, it was one of those things that you saw me, but you didn't see me.
Hey,
You didn't fight for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was, you didn't fight for me.
You were always here.
You were always here.
Probably a week wouldn't pass as a mourner.
Yeah. I went through all of this in my life. And you were watching me.
And that moment of your dad weeping so hard, what does it do to you
It breaks
watching
me.
it?
It
Yeah.
breaks me. He's my hero. I've never seen that man cry.
No.
But for him to break,
Gee, seeing your hero weak is something else, eh? Wow. So all of this becomes a story that you feel has to be written.
has to be told. There's a lot of men who want to be a part of their kids' lives, but men don't have a say anymore. So I wanted to show that there's still good men out there who are also going through stuff, and all they want is to be a part of their kid's life. It's not about the money. It's not about Ingi. My dad just wanted his dad. That's all.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
I like that he still turned out okay.
Yeah. How
You know?
many would?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because he's one in a crazy number.
Yeah.
Wow, man. And now you scripting it.
Yeah.
Scripting surely is not an easy thing to do.
If you're creating it, if you're the creator,
Help us understand if it can be easy for you.
it is easy. I've got a concept in my head. I've got a beginning, middle, and an end.
Yeah.
I just need to put in, a turning point and a twist.
That's it.
That's what it
Jeez,
is.
There was a twist.
Yeah.
There was a bloody twist.
Yeah.
Right in the last maybe 10 minutes where
Yeah.
she's not your child.
Yeah. Boom.
Like,
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what it is. And it shows you what a relationship between a father and a child is. It's not, via DNA.
No, it's not.
It's emotion.
There's a lot more. That's why very end, the last scene,
Yeah.
she comes to
Yeah.
show you that I will never forget you.
Yeah.
I must tell you, dude, I don't get teary when I watch movies.
Yeah. But that one,
Yeah.
wait until the sequel comes.
It made me unhappy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Correct. Damn it, I got weak here.
Yeah.
I got weak.
It breaks anybody. I created it. We shot it. I still get teary when
When you watch it.
that moment.
That scene, you know which scene made me teary, like proper? When Tsimolo says, I will never forget
Yeah,
you.
the separation. Yeah,
I will never
forget.
Nothing will ever make me forget you.
you.
I think that's the line.
Yeah.
I think, dude.
It hits me.
Just as-
Now we're going to Losing Lerato 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's-
Plot? Idea of a plot? Come on, you can give us one line. One line.
It's Lerato now fighting for her dad. Vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mom is still involved,
I'm still
obviously.
involved. The stepfather's still involved.
The
It's
chief.
Lerato now
The
fighting for.
the chief.
It's yeah.
The chief.
Chief is still there. Yeah. Tato Mulam is still there.
Watina, chief.
Yeah.
Baby
But
chief.
it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
Wow.
I can't
So
wait.
it's written,
It's ready.
it's ready to press record on the camera.
Yeah. We're just waiting for cash.
Striking.
Yeah.
Action.
And we go.
Is it easy to fund it this time around?
Yeah, we smarter.
easier,
Yeah,
yeah.
we smarter, we wiser. We've put our name out there. Bakwena Productions is there. We are known now.
You've done
So,
this before.
Yeah, so
You
now
have a CV.
yeah,
Yeah.
we just have channels coming now and saying when is.
Yeah. Let's talk about recovering from funding it, bootstrapping it,
Yeah.
funding it with your own cash,
Yeah.
and now recovering from that,
Yeah.
from being back home. Give us that moment. What happens?
It's very tough, man, emotionally, especially for yourself. As a dad, having to watch your kids go through it because they're not used to it. They're not used to that life.
Their life has changed.
Life has changed. Having to go through that year, of getting things back to where they are. It's very tough. It's very tough emotionally, and that's where you also learn that people love you when you're still doing good.
When you're on top.
Yeah, when you're on top.
Yeah.
But, they also, I think the devil also celebrates when only heroes fall,
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're a hero and you go down, that's when there's something to celebrate.
These lines that you're saying surely means you went through
Yeah,
where calls were not taken.
yeah. Having to have how Liana unamela taxi,
Oh.
and
Because this was just after the scandal stardom.
yeah. And you're in that taxi and it's a very long ride and there's nothing else you can do. And people have a conversation, kawena, out loud,
Justice.
and there's nothing else you can do.
But just live through it.
You actually like, hey, can I get off here?
And it's not even your stop.
It's not even your stop.
You just need a new taxi.
You just need to get it. Yeah.
Let's get
But there's
another
also the fear of getting into another taxi. And you can tell as you bang that door, "Hore, shucks, I'm going to be the topic going forward."
But your fall was strategic.
It was.
I call it a fall because that's how it was seen.
Yeah.
It was planned.
It was a planned
Fall.
Fall.
Yes.
I have never had a fall that's not planned.
Mm.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I'm a businessman. I'm like you.
Mm.
We'll take this and sell it.
Yeah. Yes.
And so that we can get this, and take this and sell it so that we can get this. And from somebody who's, looking from the outside, who doesn't understand what's happening.
They don't get it.
Yeah. That's why journalists will say, David Uwele.
Yes.
They don't know. It's a strategic one. I remember having a conversation with a journalist once, and I'm like, this is just a story for you for now. What happens next week? And what's growing you there as a journalist? Putting in bubble gum every Thursday, and then that's it. What's next?
Yeah.
I want to give you my story, but I wanted to elevate you. So if you are asking for stories that don't elevate you, then there's nothing else.
That just gets you a quick win.
Yeah, you are just excited that there's an article that says Kagiso lost a car or you don't know how I lost a car.
Repossession.
But let me tell you. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm handing it in, but you must see the fruits of what I just did in 8 months.
Just watch. And while you edit, write about that too.
Yeah, and I'm going to invite you. Why? And I did.
Come see.
Yeah, I'm here. I made $1 million.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You buy new houses or new house. You go back to your life now.
Yeah.
Surely that's a relief.
Yeah. I hustle through anything, man. I remember I became a millionaire. It's funny. I used my private part to become a millionaire.
What did you do? It's a big deal.
It is.
What did you do?
I mean, it sounds really weird.
It does.
Yeah. But I made my first bar via my private part.
Okay, what did you do? Did you use it in an ad?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I'm married, I think at that time I was married for, it was 12 years?
Yeah.
I'm married for 12 years. And I'm like, okay, I am not circumcised. Okay, but what are the benefits of circumcision? Oh, preventing, cervical cancer in women.
All of that, yes.
Oh, okay. So this is an opportunity for me to go and teach. I wanted to.
Yeah.
And I go out there, I approach Brothers for Life, I approach Right to Care, and I say, let me do it publicly. But I'm going to go and encourage men to come and do it with me, Kokatlehong, on the same day. Guess what happens, right? I put it out there on social media, but I said, I need R1 from every circumcision that I make. And across the country, I got 1.1 million men.
who wanted to circumcise.
And they did.
Wow.
So it was my R1. That's how I became a millionaire.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, man, you're a hustler at your core.
Yeah. It's sometimes people want to hustle through their beauty. That's what I learned from it.
Hey.
But sometimes you must just hustle through your flaws.
Yes, as well. Yeah. And there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
To say, I am ngimnyama mari inemali daddy day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inemali,
yes.
I live Gomkukung. How do I make money here? Instead of trying to go and look for a job there, where you think there's money. Where's the money?
I've always said that every society, even the poorest of the poorest, there's always the richest guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it is. There's a guy with more money than everyone.
Exactly.
Even in the poorest community.
There's somebody who's got more money than
everybody else. Jeez, man. I must tell you, your hustler spirit is one. When I was planning this, I
Yeah.
thought we will talk so much about film and movies and cameras.
No, let's talk about life.
It's the hustler in you.
Yeah.
The book that you wrote.
Yeah.
What inspired that book? Yeah. And along came, what's her
Tsakani.
name? Tsakani.
The truth.
What truth in that context?
Just the truth about relationships and marriage.
Yeah.
People have this picture, and once they get into the truth of what marriage is, it's either they crumble or they grow. And most people choose the easy way out. And when which is divorce.
Yeah.
Now we're having divorce parties and all of that.
Yeah.
And coming from a person who, we did family psychology, I understand the impact it has, whether you like it or not. Growing up with a single parent is not the same as growing up with both.
Absolutely.
Growing up with your dad here and not there, it's not the same. Waking up with a child every day is not the same as seeing them on weekends.
On weekends,
It's
yeah.
not the same. And Runabat Babats, black people, we are so quick to take this thing and own it and make it fashionable. It doesn't work. But how we must sort it out is by getting to the truth of it. And that's why we came to Along Came Tsakani.
Yeah.
This is a man, a good man. How about Aute Grand? Aute loves his wife, but finds himself in this situation and he's cheating.
Can a good man turn bad?
That's the thing.
That's the story.
He's human.
Yeah.
And how do we contribute to it? Because our first instinct is to say, all men cheat. All men are dogs. All men this. How do we contribute
To this guy.
to this guy?
Can a non-abusive man turn bad?
Yeah. I mean, most of the guys who are in prison right now for
GBV, for
GBV.
example, yeah.
They'll tell you, I didn't know I was capable of that. I didn't know. I
Yeah.
didn't plan for it. And that's their truth.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened
In that moment.
in that moment.
I just...
And if you go and you look at the history of this guy, good guy, people are shocked.
Even, yes, I was about to say, even everybody observing this, they would say,
There's no ways. We do have bad apples, and those bad apples have shown themselves all along.
red flags.
Yeah, Kio Moses Itoli. Yeah,
Yes.
do you know what I mean? He's a serial killer. He's a rapist. He's done it all. He's been doing it.
He never told us any story, any
Nothing.
other story.
And,
Yes.
he told us his story, which is, listen, this is what I'm coming for. And not every man wakes up in the morning and they say, I want to go and punch somebody in the face.
Or punch a woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why I really got so deep into the Nanya Brothers for Life. Because that's where men were able to openly say things and without being judged and be raw about them, be vulgar about them so that we can correct them.
Yes.
But right now, all the campaigns that are happening is that they don't want to be vulgar, they don't want to be raw. They want to come in and tell you as a man how you're supposed to be. Right?
You're saying that's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like us men going to tell women how to become women. That's what was happening at the Renaissance, right? Men were trying to tell women that you are lower than us, you are insignificant than us.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what they're doing
happening now.
in reverse.
What is an ideal scenario then to transform the man? And you're saying men, they're good men.
Yeah.
There are moments that make the animal in them come out.
Yeah.
How do we tame that animal so much that it never comes out?
Is by understanding the animal. How do you tame something that you haven't seen?
Yeah.
And each animal is different.
That's true.
Do you get what I'm saying? You can't tame a cow the same way you tame a horse.
You can't say sit to a horse.
To a horse. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Maybe you can, but
yeah.
it's far-fetched.
But we have to allow the animal to come out so that we can direct where the animal must go.
Understand it.
I sit and I struggle because we are public figures now, and we are all expected to say the right things.
Yes.
And
all the time.
And we are doing so much damage. I'll tell you. There's a place, go to Duza. And
Okay.
this woman, get tavern. And There's no music.
Okay.
She's turned her kitchen into just a frigidaire,
Uh-huh.
and she cooks for free. You eat there for free. Masapo. And it's the same menu every day.
You buy alcohol.
You buy alcohol.
Yeah.
If you buy alcohol, then you get a plate.
That's it.
I tell you the conversations. Go tlala ma president wada, tlala ma time ko di femu. I promise you the wisdom that you'd get from there
It's amazing.
is amazing as a man.
Yes.
You know how a man. I remember there was this one boy who came in, and this his wife had just cheated on him, and he was so mad. He was angry, and he was calling her all sorts of names,
Of course.
vulgar,
Yeah.
raw emotions, right? But you can't tame the animal if you don't know the raw. And guess what the advice was?
From Majita.
Timer. Timer. But so, do you love this woman? And he says, yeah, but I love her. But yeah, she's a, but oh, how many kids you got with her? Got 2 kids. But okay. So where did she do this thing? Was it at your house? No, papukile, the hotel. But okay. Calm down. Right? 1, this woman respected you. Do you hear where we're going now?
Yo.
It's the truth.
Not everybody will accept this, but keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very old hlompile.
Yeah.
Right? Number 2, what did she do after that? She apologized. She's human. But do you think she would react the same way that you have? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. These old men are taming this animal that could have gone home.
And what he does, we don't even know.
They're putting all these questions in him. We can tell. That's truth. It's raw truth.
And they as Grootman, they understand this animal.
Yeah.
Because they've been this animal or they've seen this animal.
They've been this animal or they've seen this, and they know the repercussions of being this animal.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yo.
And they say, hey, and then they say to him, the most toughest, I mean, and this is going to be very raw. But do you love your children? And he said, yes, I do. But so who's more important? Another man's piss or the well-being of your children? In that room. Quiet.
Because he has to
choose.
Yeah.
Another man's piss.
Or your kids.
Or your kids' well-being.
Well-being.
Before he could answer that, and then he told him how this is going to affect the kids growing up.
His absence or not.
The separation.
The separation, yes. So he got to even see it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what? That marriage still stands.
Justice.
Still stands.
Yes.
Because it's a choice. But when we are being impulsive, we are not thinking about these things.
Yeah.
So that is why when you get books like Bo Along Came Tsakan, coming back to the book, is us asking ourselves the truth and how did we contribute to this? Because this guy said, and it was like, how did I contribute to my wife actually stepping out?
I like your view on Begezela.
Yeah.
That it's actually not such a bad thing.
It's not. It's not.
This is not everybody will agree with you.
Yeah.
On the surface.
On the surface.
Yes. Because you're saying Begezela is not bad.
Yeah.
Tell us about your view on it.
You have to go to the root cause. You can't get to a point where you get married and you have children. You call families together to bring them together.
You celebrate.
You show off. You know what I mean? If there was no love.
Yeah.
That Begezela is not like or Begezela we are shower, Begezela in it. It's like there'll be trials and tribulations.
Yes.
And it's about us having to understand each other. Where's this person coming from? I'll tell you what happens, David. And I once had this conversation with my wife. And I said, in the beginning of a relationship, the biggest mistake a man makes is he wants to play superhero.
Okay, yes.
Right?
He solves every problem.
Yeah, because it's in his instinct and his ego, right? We are quick to ask the woman, who's your ex? Where do you come from? And they are very open about, I was with David. He didn't treat me well. He didn't do this. He didn't do this and do this and do this and do this, right? And automatically our instincts make us want to become protective and to show that I am not David. So for the first 3 years, 4 years of
You're
my
the
relationship,
best man in the world.
I am trying not to be David,
Yeah.
but I'm not being myself.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when the true colors, when I'm trying to be myself, but it's true colors coming out. It's not true colors. It's me being myself.
Yeah.
And the biggest mistake that women make, right, is never to ask, where do you come from? Because naturally, they were the prey. They were hunted.
They don't need to ask too much.
No.
Yeah, they're the catch.
Yeah, they're the catch. You know, why aren't we asking, or David, when I was talking, guy, you know, who's your ex? Why did you break up with him? How can I be a better girlfriend to you?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you find a lot of men who go in there and invest and invest and invest. When they say, wait a minute, where's my investment?
Yes.
That's when we're saying the true colors are coming out.
The concept of ushinchile
Ushintshile.
exists in truth
Yeah.
because vele ushinchile.
Yeah.
But they didn't really change. What you had before was the change.
Yeah.
Now they're true to who they are.
Men also want to be cuddled. Men want to be taken care of. Men want to feel important. Men want to be told they are handsome.
What men want to cry and be sad.
And be sad.
And want you to know that you know that they're sad right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have been buying the flowers. I have been telling you how beautiful you are. Nobody
says a word.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're back. Yeah. Okay, so when are we going? It's quick. But if Tsakane comes.
And Tsakane says, oh, baby, you look so good.
In passing, David. Doesn't have to even be she's coming at you. In passing.
She's just minding her business.
Yeah. And you know, I've noticed that golf shirts suit you.
You should wear more of them.
You should wear more.
Or he even buys you one.
Yeah. No, ask her again. Let's not take it too deep. But she said it. When you go to work, you start dressing up for.
Tsakane.
Because
she's going to tell you, wow, you're good.
Because this one is not seeing you.
Oh, my God.
So don't men want to be seen?
Yeah.
They do.
Begazela from the woman's perspective. Here's a woman who's getting clapped.
Yeah.
And she's staying. Or here's a woman who, it's not good, this thing that they're going through.
Yeah.
But she's staying.
Yeah.
And people will say Begazela in the olden days.
Yeah.
Today they're saying, yer, run.
Yeah.
Why is stomach rubbish?
Yeah.
What do you say to a scenario like that?
I say we shouldn't blanket a bad situation and make it everybody's situation. Shouldn't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good men out there. There's a lot.
I like this Kagiso theme.
There's
a lot of good men out there.
There's more good men out there.
There's a movie. Good
Men. There are more good men out there.
Yeah.
I promise you, if you see a woman get beat up, even if it's her, why is there people hooting? Who's hooting?
Who's hooting?
If all the men were horrible, we'd be driving past.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good men. So I want to go to this Begazela thing. There's bad apples. And there are moments where you say, you can't take that bad apple and say the whole bag is rotten.
Of course.
We must be dealing with those bad apples. There are men who have issues. There are men who are not dealing with their issues, who grew up with a dad who was an alcoholic and that has passed on to him. You know what I mean? And once they're being told what to do, they don't know how to deal with the issues. And but like an issue by being violent, by being arrogant, by being but those are actually true emotions.
Yeah.
So all we need is somebody who's going to now take this animal and teach it.
And bring it down and tame it.
What do? We say, no, let this animal go.
Injale.
And when we say injale, lenjale is also going to another woman and going to another woman because this dog needs to.
It needs to express.
It needs to express.
Until it's tamed, it'll always be a danger.
It'll always be a danger.
Can men Begazela? Do men Begazela?
Yeah. But
it's not exclusive to women, this Begazela concept.
No. And my fear is men begazelling for the wrong reasons. The same with women begazelling for the wrong reasons. The same as there's bad apples in men, there's bad apples in women.
Of course.
We've seen women who are very abusive. We've seen women who have taken advantage of banna and used them, We've seen banna batselwa cooking oil. And when that happens, it's not something that we talk about. I'm not going to mention this aunt of mine, but I remember she, growing up, she used to keep the card. She had boyfriends and their bank cards and they did like weird.
What?
You get what I'm
Not
saying?
even one boyfriend.
No. And every Friday is a line.
What you thought was that Imali. Whoa. Jeez, she had power?
Yeah, she had power. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wasn't that abusive?
That's extreme level.
She's my aunt.
Yes, she had power. I bet you there's someone who wants to know what was she using to get such power?
But she was being celebrated.
Riolo mama.
What do we tell you to lie? But you get what I'm saying? It was one of those things.
Just.
But that's what she did.
And successfully.
Yeah.
From her perspective.
And some of the guys would get a beating. If you come there and you are asking for just extra nyan, they'd get a beating.
Yes.
Right? She was abusive.
Wow.
Are all women like that?
No, of course not.
Exactly.
Of course not. You mentioned your mom was a dynamic woman.
Yeah.
You mentioned your dad.
Yeah.
You're in the movie Yalerato, you thank your in-laws.
Yeah.
You stop for a second.
Yeah.
The screen goes black.
Yeah.
And it comes up with a picture of your in-laws.
Yeah.
Surely the support is not just the wife at home.
No.
It's the bigger picture. Give me that picture better.
Man. That's why Kiri, God just works in mysterious ways. Me and my mother-in-law got along like a house on fire.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was in London and, I just left and I told her, look, I'm going to come back and, we're going to take you to a proper hospital. And, I spoke to her when I was leaving London. And when I landed, she was gone. And she tricked me, man.
Yeah.
And she was amazing. When you get like two families that come together, you're always expecting fights or
something.
I don't know why. My in-laws and my family get along.
Jeez.
They are more of friends than us. They go and hang out together.
They don't even need to tell you.
No. You'd hear Mamngane extended has met Mamngane or, oh no, Ubanu yes, oh Ubanu is. It's just like that.
So you proper brought two families together.
Live.
Wow.
Is it luck?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You see what I'm saying? This thing, how do I then just allow that to fall apart?
That must have been quite distracting.
Where's the begazela in there?
No, there isn't. Eh?
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's say I have to begazela.
And you see the bigger loss. It's quite great.
It's quite great.
Rather you go home with the wife and say, let's find a way to fix this.
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? And we've had our moments.
Of course.
Married for 16 years.
It's quite a bit.
And we've had our moments.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if none of us went back to the other one and said, let's look what happened?
Imagine if both said, yeah, let's take attitude.
That whole, because that's what the devil wants to attack.
The entire system.
The entire system.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are falling into it and they go and they celebrate divorce parties and all of that.
So your in-laws became your family in a true sense.
Yeah. I mean, my mother-in-law and my mother, they got along like a house on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a gift.
And when my mom passed on, I mean, it really affected my mother-in-law.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I lost squeeze.
Yeah.
I lost Chomi.
Yeah.
Because we tend to ignore the relationship that's built between the two families.
Yeah.
It's not just you guys. You're not just creating cousins.
Yeah.
You're actually creating two families.
Yeah.
And there are no titles, or are they? There probably are.
Yeah.
Titles for Mama Zala and Mama Zala together.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Yeah.
Because if they're cousins and things like that, surely there must be a title. There must be a title for them.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's why for me, I always I'll stand up and I'll talk about it. You know what I mean? When we are glorifying cheating in our music, when we're glorifying taking your man, taking your woman, and we do all those things. But what we're not realizing is that, Runa, as black people, we are taking that and we are literally drilling it into our people, and we're killing our own nation.
We are drilling it into the next generation.
Yeah, and then we are the ones who come back and complain about broken families. Then we want to talk about GBV, and we're not even trying to ask, where did this come from?
Yeah.
Right? But we are the ones who are pushing it.
There was a system that made it an effort to break families.
Yeah.
Apartheid.
Yeah.
When it removed people from where they were so they can work in. That was a system. And we seem to be encouraging it even when apartheid doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly. Now I'll check. I tell you straight. I'm busy with David's wife.
Hey, it's like, how do you celebrate that?
Yeah, I'll ask you, how do you celebrate that? So you are excited to break David. Do you understand what it took for David to bring those two families together?
Yes.
The negotiations, this, that. And then we are shocked when something huge happens.
While we're talking about wives, I want you to take a moment to see your wife in this recording.
Yeah.
Asimbone simbekela.
Yeah.
And when umtshele ukuthi ish,
what?
My woman.
When
I read those lines in the Lerato right at the end, where you acknowledge your wife.
She never let go of my hand. She never. You know, the biggest thing that my wife did for me, she walked with me. Yeah.
It's all you needed.
Yeah, that's all.
And she did.
She did. She walked with me.
Is she glad she did?
I hope she is. I think she is.
Yeah.
I think she is. We just met and we lifted each other.
Because you met when you had pretty much very little.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we moved into a room, not even one bedroom. It was, we moved into a room.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Brixton.
And you hustled through it.
Moved in the first day we met.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Those are big decisions.
Those are big decisions.
How the hell did you convince her?
That's why I'm saying I am not going to lie and say it was my wisdom or it just happened.
You said,
yeah,
let's try this.
Next morning I was like, where are you going? No, I need to go to my place. What remorse.
Hey, Diman.
And that was it.
And she said, okay. And she never left.
Never left.
And she's still here even now.
Still here even now.
Wow.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why, Kere, there's certain things that when you meet with someone, you don't really know what you're doing for them, and they don't know what they're doing for you.
Yeah.
Back in school, I was the man. When a new girl came, they knew. Kagiso. You know what I mean? Gents would come to me and say, look, there's a girl.
That girl is yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Naban Shastina all the time because I didn't have money.
You couldn't sustain this.
I couldn't sustain it.
You could break the seal, but you couldn't keep it going.
No, I couldn't keep it going.
Yeah.
I remember even trying to take a girl to movies, because then I was seeing I'm losing here. Every time I get a girl, we are dating at school. When schools are closed, we are closed. That was it.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
They would, meet up, go holiday, take a taxi, take it to Eastern Mall, go watch. And I tried it, but it didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
Anyways, I got used to this thing, Shapiwa Stain. And because it was financial. There was nothing wrong with it. It was financial. When I met with my wife, the first thing that she didn't care about was money. So when we went on our first date, we walked.
Yes.
It was a very long walk.
Wow.
A very long walk.
A free walk.
A free walk. A cheap walk. We sealed everything in that walk. We asked each other, are we messing around? What are we doing? And we wanted to be together.
Wow.
So when Losing Lerato ends, when I say thank you for always walking with me, she walked with me.
So that walk is real.
That walk is real. But ups and downs, ups. And she never let go of my hand. It would be very easy. The stuff that we went through, it would be very easy for her to
Yeah, choose an easier path.
But she stuck with me.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Lo uzohlala khona.
Why fight? And I'll fight for her.
Yeah, whatever happens.
Yeah. I will fight for my family, David.
What is it about her really that whatever happens,
Yeah.
hell or high water,
Yeah.
you will fight a bull to make sure that yeah.
There's nobody that knows me better than that woman. She knows me better than my mother.
Jeez.
Do you know what I mean? And she knows my highs, she knows my lows. She never let go, man. She was just there. I touched in so many lives, in so many ways. You know, she's touched me in so many ways. Improved my life. I improved her life. You know, skila, all of that. Like this were like two people who just needed the other one to pull and the other one to pull.
Yeah.
We are a perfect team.
It's like a bicycle.
Yeah.
You have to do this
For that.
for that to keep going forward. Yes.
And once you take away this,
Oh no, the momentum is messed up.
it's messed up.
The future of Bakwin.
Yeah.
What is it?
I've got a slate that's coming up. I've got like 4 projects. I've got 2 series that I'm ready to put out there, and I'm gonna do them my way.
Okay.
You know, and we're just ready for that. You know, we're just running around looking for money. You know, we are smarter now. We are wiser now. We're not really gonna sell our homes now to stuff. But that's where I am.
Yeah.
You know, the future is having to change the game. The future is having to be on that stage.
Yeah.
Be through that intercom. And how we,
That's Daddy's word.
yeah, you know,
Yes.
and how we're doing it. We can
Guys,
never- yeah,
you want
know what I
that?
mean? Yeah. Come to the office, please. It's gotta be on that intercom.
You want to hear that?
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, and I want and already we've done that.
Uh,
I want for somebody to say the first time there were royalties paid in this country
to a lighting guy.
to a lighting guy, to a security guy, Napakisari Koloi. It was through Kagiso Modupe.
Whoa.
It's done. It's done.
That's big though. It's already done. That box has been ticked
It's
already.
ticked. So what's next?
I wonder if it puts pressure on the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
Do you feel the industry is ready for that type of setup? Because you're asking a lot.
It should have been.
From people who've been thinking that the world is blue for 100,000 years. You're asking them, maybe it's not blue.
No. I'm saying to them, you guys convinced yourself it was blue when you knew it was pink.
You've always known it
You've
was.
always known it was pink.
They'll say, my dad knew. I didn't know.
You guys knew it was pink.
Yeah.
And that's why your contracts always made sure that it doesn't serve the performer.
It's clear there.
Clear there.
Sorry.
And all the other white counterparts, it worked for them. The contracts were different from black.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we still seeing a bit of that still in
Yeah.
the
And
system?
what really makes me mad is when you have black producers come in and and we don't change the game, but we follow what
You use the apartheid template.
now.
It's like having a black president using apartheid law.
Exactly.
Oh,
Why one?
Tiak, what you're doing is big. I want you to be aware of that.
Yeah.
It's game changing in a big way.
Yeah.
Because you're asking, because the fight has always been let royalties be given to stars,
Yeah.
those that appear in front of the camera, and you're saying never.
You and I were about to do this, right?
Uh.
And we were struggling to take pictures of ourselves.
Yeah, because it's just the two of us here.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, we do need that extra hand.
Yeah. That hand is important.
Yeah, and if we don't acknowledge it for what it really is,
Yeah.
we are making the mistake.
Exactly. So how do you go and only acknowledge them, Kadi awards, when you say the
credits.
people that we have lost this year?
Yeah.
And you have
And then
everybody,
you write even the camera guy,
even the camera guy, even, you know,
but you don't acknowledge them financially when they are alive.
you want to acknowledge the stars.
Just so you know, we're recording this, just the two of us. There's no hand
Yeah.
helping this production.
Yeah.
So if anything goes wrong,
Yeah.
just know we needed that extra hand.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
Huh. Wow, man. You're changing the game. And for me, that's an
We have to.
Yeah.
We have to. And for me, I don't want to be like one of those guys where I pass on tomorrow and what
God
did he
forbid. Yes.
Yeah, what did he do? Well,
Yeah.
at some point. But what did I do in the game? What did I do in the industry?
You just came in, made money,
Became famous.
and left.
Come on. That's not-
Left with nothing
yeah.
because you leave it behind.
Yeah, you leave it behind. And probably your kids are going to take it and
Yeah.
play around with it.
Nice segue. Talk about the kids.
Yeah.
You have big dreams for them.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
If you start introducing them to your world such an early age.
Yeah.
What drives that dream about your kids, particularly in the space that you're in?
I like my dad, I let my kids guide me.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be very personal about it, behavior's learned. So they see something, they like it. Is it in them or not? But they should be able to try anything. And if they want to try this, I'll make it,
Yeah, give it to them, see what they do.
See what they do with them. But
And at this early age, it's the age of trying out.
yeah. But one day, Timolo, Mateo will come back and they're like, no, I want to do this. Oh,
Cool, let's go there.
Yeah.
Because Simolo's now the actress.
Yeah.
And Mateo is
The comedian. Mateo's the comedian.
he tells the
Jokes
jokes.
for days, But, I mean, Kingwana.
Yeah.
Yeah, wahola.
How old is Mateo now?
Mateo is 6 now,
Yeah.
Timolo is 11.
Geez, she's grown from that little kid
Yeah, she was
we saw on the show.
Yeah, she was 8
Yeah.
when we shot. She was 7.5.
And she did act.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a couple of roles that are coming up. We've done another movie together for another production house.
Okay.
She's playing Joey Rasdin's daughter there.
Wow.
We've got Ululwane.
And she's pulling it off.
Yeah. And we've just preparing for Ululwane where she's going to be blind. So that's going to be interesting.
And a child stars, are they acknowledged for really what they are? Child stars.
But that's what we keep saying. I mean, the SAFTAs just went by now. There's no category for kids.
And it should be there.
There isn't.
So they compete with you
Yeah.
for best actor
Yeah.
or actress or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, I was in my early 20s and I was competing for best actor against Tsepo Masego.
Yes. Yes.
And this is a guy I grew up watching. But this was
Groom.
and
Yes.
and this was like my first time in it. There was no newcomer. There was no
none of that.
Yeah.
And that still hasn't changed, man.
But it shows you who's running it.
Jeez.
Nobody's got an idea about it. How do you groom?
Young
If you don't
stars.
acknowledge.
Grooming is one thing. How do you encourage young stars to get in?
Yeah. I'm a director on House of Sweden now.
Uh-huh.
And I watch Karabo. The young kid is brilliant. She's been brilliant since.
Yeah. Day one.
Yeah.
It's growing and becoming better and better.
Yeah.
Jeez. That kid needs to be acknowledged as a child.
Where's the acknowledgement?
Industry, how complicated.
It's only yellow.
Yeah, Rona.
Nobody's watching.
Yeah, Rona, it gets complicated. Make a match.
Yeah,
when
only.
contracts
Exactly.
are being signed,
Where one-
it gets messy.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you think the South African movie industry is worth investing in?
It is.
And investment is money now.
Yeah. It
So
is.
there's a return.
There's a return. But we also need to be very careful that who are we investing in? But I think it's a good space. I'm seeing channels now, they increasing the money, for commissionings and stuff. It is. It is. It's just that, we should be able to have rules.
Yeah.
We need to be able to put a value on ourselves. We go and we advertise our country and say this is the best place to shoot. Cape Town has a lot of international movies that are happening. But
Yeah, Denzel shot in Cape Town.
yeah.
Yes.
But when they come here, they come in dollars and still pay our people in rands.
Or they convert it to, it's cheap as
Yeah.
well. So then they would treat it as a cheap place to
Yeah.
shoot.
But
Instead of a great place to shoot.
yeah, it is a great place to shoot.
Yeah.
And they're getting so much value for their money. But when they come here, somebody says, you gave the dollars. And then when they negotiate with the stars is
Rent.
In rent.
Rents, yeah. So then that means the value of the star, instead of going up, because the dollar investor is here, it goes down to a rent investor.
yeah. Why? Because there's no rules. There's no labor rules. Guys are coming in and out of our country, shooting, leaving, and then
Nothing happens.
Nothing happened.
Interesting. Your fellow star in Lerato, in Losing Lerato,
Yeah.
Meg Connie.
Yeah.
She speaks of being on an international production.
Yeah.
And saying, oh, it's a different world altogether.
Different world altogether. I mean, she was in LA shooting
Yes, the Wakanda movie.
Wakanda movie.
Yes, yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
But when they come this side,
Your
lower
your
the
scale
standards.
drops.
Yeah.
And yet you know, if you were to take your true value, you know it because there are people somewhere who thinks you are the greatest they've ever seen.
And then we come out and we say, we must be the ones playing the Mandela movies. We must be. But we're not investing in it.
Yeah.
So if the Americans are going to come here with money, they're going to choose Idris Elba.
Of course, to Ed Mandela.
Yeah. It's my money.
I'm going to do whatever I want.
Exactly. But they're coming here, they're telling our story.
Who do we blame for this investment?
We blame the system.
Yeah.
Where anybody can come in and out. And what happens is that our leaders become too starstruck.
They're sitting with Idris Elba in the same press conference.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
become too starstruck to look at the business side of it. You go to India, you go anywhere else, they don't care who you are. They don't care how many numbers you've got. I watch some of the American stars. You look at our stars. They've got more social media following than... But when you get to America, you follow the American rules. You get to India, you follow the Indian way.
That's it.
It's the same way as what we talk about in terms of xenophobia in this country. Another subject that we're not touching on. Of which there's a series that obviously is going to touch on those issues. That we are not facing the truth of it.
We are just on the surface.
And we're all trying to say the right things.
Yeah, and then we sit back.
Yeah.
And we hope it solves itself.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Jack, we can go on.
We need to face the truth. Thank you, David.
Thank you very much. Guys, Reo o tla le pula.
Yeah, yeah.
Modupe ya pula.
Yeah, ke Modupe ke a di upella matebele. A mpona pizza mokopa ka gana ka re ke mokweng.
There you go, Kagiso Modupe. Or is it Mangi?
Ah, no. Stick to KG. No, thank you.
And I wish you well. I think we are very lucky to have people with the type of drive that you have. Because economies, a people, a community, a society, a country moves when people like you move.
Yeah.
Because if we lose the type of people who drive, who have a passion, who have a hunger to achieve, we all stop.
You don't move, you die.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we appreciate movers like you because they tell all of us that we can move.
Yeah.
You have 2 movies you've written and many coming.
Yeah.
And you've written short, they are out. And you have a book. You know what I mean? You're saying, you're saying, Arye, let's go.
Ska emela counselor.
No.
How are you, mates? Yeah, finish and clear.
Pressure.
Yeah, or let's dig. Let's find out.
Let's find our water down the ground.
Yeah.
Thank you, Otiak.
Thank you, Mike.
And thanks for coming on a Saturday. I appreciate it. We're shooting this on a Saturday. Normally it's Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
But when we called Kagiso, he said, Saturday? Right, okay.
Yeah, let's go do it.
That's why there's no one here.
Yeah, let's go do it.
Thank
you, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Hey,
There he is, everybody. See you.
King David Studio Podcast.